The planet's surface was broken and dry. Old machines lay in pieces. Dust clouds moved with a cold wind. There was no sign of life, no animals, no voices. Only the memory of a great battle, now finished and forgotten. Lyra, a young alien girl, hid behind a large rock. Her skin was pale blue, and her hair was silver, tangled with dirt. Her arms were cut, and her legs were shaking. She had not eaten for days. Her stomach ached. She watched the sky with tired red eyes, hoping to see a friendly face. She hoped. For her family, but they were gone. Soldiers had taken them, and her home was destroyed. Now, she was alone. Lyra's only hope was that someone, anyone, would pass by. But the wasteland was silent. Once in a while, she heard distant ships flying overhead. Their engines roared like monsters, but no ship ever landed. They just moved across the sky, like birds who do not care. She remembered her mother's words. Humans are dangerous. Never trust them. Hide if you see one. But Lyra was tired. She did not care anymore. It was better to trust a human than to die alone in the dust. Suddenly, footsteps echoed nearby. They were heavy and slow. Lyra's heart beat faster. She tried to press herself against the rock, making herself small. Her breathing stopped for a moment. A shadow appeared on the ground. It was not big like a monster. It was just a person tall and strong, wearing strange clothes and a helmet that covered his face. The human looked around, his eyes scanning the land, searching for something or someone. He carried a heavy bag and a metal rod, ready for danger. Lyra did not move. She hoped he would not see her. But then she coughed by mistake. The human's head turned sharply. He came closer, one step at a time. Lyra's hands shook. Would he kill her? Would he take her as a prisoner? Her mind filled with terrible stories. The human stopped a few feet away. He took off his helmet. He had short brown hair and tired eyes. He was older than Lyra expected, maybe 30 years old. He looked at her carefully, noticing her wounds and fear. "Are you hurt?" he asked softly. Lyra did not answer. She only stared, her eyes full of tears. The human looked at her bleeding arm. He took a small water bottle from his bag and placed it on the ground, then stepped back. "You can drink," he said, keeping his voice calm. "I won't hurt you." Lyra was very thirsty, but she did not trust him. She watched him for a long minute. The human did not move. He waited, showing empty hands. Finally, Lyra reached out and grabbed the bottle. She drank quickly, coughing as the cool water hit her dry throat. "Thank you," she whispered, almost too quiet to hear. The human smiled just a little. "My name is Sam," he said. "I'm looking for survivors. You're the first I found." Lyra looked down. She did not tell him her name. She did not want to trust him, but her body was weak. She knew she could not walk far. Sam opened his bag and took out some bread. He broke it into small pieces and left them near her. "Eat," he said. "I'll wait here." Lyra ate a little. The bread was dry, but it felt good in her mouth. As she ate, she watched Sam. He looked at the horizon, as if he was searching for something more. He seemed tired, too. Maybe he was just as lost as she was. Hours passed. The sun began to set, and the cold wind returned. Lyra shivered. Sam looked at her and asked, "Do you want to come with me? My ship is close." Lyra's fear returned. What if this was a trick? What if he only wanted to catch her? She could not survive another night alone. She remembered her mother's words, but she pushed them away. "Take me with you," she said, her voice shaking. "Or leave me to die." There was a long, silent pause. Sam looked at her, his eyes full of worry. He did not answer at first. Lyra felt hope and fear mixing in her heart. Finally, Sam nodded. "All right, but you must trust me. I want to help." Lyra stood up slowly. She could hardly walk. Sam offered his arm, and she took it. Together, they began to walk toward the edge of the wasteland. The darkness grew around them, but for the first time, Lyra felt a small light of hope behind them. In the dust, something moved, watching, waiting. The wasteland was not as empty as they thought. The adventure had just begun. Sam and Lyra moved slowly through the empty land, both tired and alert. The sun was almost gone, and long shadows covered the broken ground. Every step was difficult for Lyra, but Sam never rushed her. He kept looking back, checking if anyone was following. The wasteland always felt like it was hiding something. As they reached a hill, Sam pointed. "My ship is just on the other side," he said quietly. But before they could move further, a sudden noise made them both freeze. It was not the wind. It was a strange mechanical sound, like metal dragging against stone. Lyra's eyes went wide. "That's not your ship, is it?" Sam shook his head. "No. Stay low." He pulled Lyra behind a rusted piece of old machinery. They crouched, holding their breath. The sound grew louder, then stopped. For a moment, everything was silent again. Then a spotlight appeared, sweeping across the ground. A small patrol robot with blinking red eyes and spidery legs was searching the area. It belonged to scavengers, the kind that captured lost survivors for profit. Sam whispered, "Don't move. It can sense heat." Lyra pressed herself into the cold metal, wishing she could disappear. The robot came closer, its scanner worry. It stopped right in front of their hiding spot. For a second, it looked straight at Lyra. She squeezed her eyes shut, waiting for the alarm. But just then, a wild animal ran past, drawing the robot's attention. It chased after the animal, disappearing over the rocks. Sam let out a slow breath. "We need to go. Now." They hurried down the hill, staying low and out of sight. Sam guided Lyra with gentle but firm hands. Soon, the outline of his small ship appeared, a battered old shuttle, half covered with sand. They rushed inside, and Sam locked the door behind them. Lyra collapsed onto a bench, shaking. "Are we safe now?" she asked. Sam checked the sensors. "For now, yes, but those scavengers will be back soon. We don't have much time." He started the ship, pressing buttons and flipping switches. The engine sputtered and coughed, then came to life with a loud roar. Lyra watched everything. Amazed, she had never been inside a human ship before. The walls were scratched and some wires hung loose. But it felt like a palace compared to the wasteland. Sam went to a small cabinet and took out a first aid kit. He gently cleaned Lyra's wounds and wrapped them with bandages. She flinched from the pain but did not complain. As Sam worked, he asked, "Why were you alone out there?" Lyra hesitated, then told him, "My family tried to escape when the fighting started. We got separated. I waited for them, but they never came back." Sam nodded. "War takes everything. I lost my friends too." He looked sad, and for a moment, there was silence. Suddenly, the ship's alarm started to beep. On the screen, a message flashed. "Intruders detected nearby." Sam looked out the window. 3 more scavenger robots were approaching, moving fast. "We have to leave now," Sam shouted. He jumped into the pilot's seat and started lifting off. The ship shook as the robots fired at them, hitting the hull with loud clangs. Lyra grabbed a handle and held on tight as the ship rose into the sky. Outside, the wasteland grew smaller and smaller until it was just a dark scar on the planet's surface. But the danger was not over. On the radar, a larger ship appeared, chasing them. The scavengers had their own spaceship, bigger and faster. Sam tried to dodge their attacks, flying through clouds and weaving between old satellites. Lyra stared at the screens, her heart pounding as the enemy ship got closer. Lyra noticed something strange, a symbol on the scavenger ship's wing. She had seen it before, in her father's stories. That symbol. "It belongs to slavers," she whispered. Sam glanced at her. "We can't let them catch us." "Hold on." He pressed a big red button. The ship shot forward, engines burning bright. But just as they thought they were safe, something exploded at the back. The ship lost power for a moment and began to fall. Lyra screamed, but Sam did not panic. He slammed the controls, using the last bit of energy to glide the ship towards a hidden canyon. The ship crashed with a loud bang, but landed safely between high rocks. Sam and Lyra sat in silence, breathing hard. Outside, a scavenger ship searched the sky. Unable to see them hidden in the dark canyon, Sam turned to Lyra, a determined look on his face. "We're not giving up. Not today." Lyra nodded, a small smile on her lips. For the first time, she felt like she might survive after all. But deep in the shadows, the true danger was still waiting. Their journey was only beginning. The canyon was silent, except for the quiet hum of Sam's damaged ship. Darkness hid them from the slavers' eyes, but Sam knew it wouldn't last. The ship's lights flickered weakly, and warning signals beeped softly on the control panel. Lyra sat in a corner, knees pulled to her chest, listening to every sound outside. Sam checked the scanners. The slaver ship was still searching above, moving slowly back and forth, shining bright searchlights into the cracks between the rocks. "They won't give up easily," Sam said, voice low. Lyra shivered. "Why are they after us?" "There. So many other planets. Why this one?" Sam hesitated. "It's not just you. They want anyone they can sell. Anyone alone or weak. This planet's ruins are perfect for their hunt." Suddenly, a sharp metallic clang echoed across the canyon walls. Lyra froze. Sam peeked through a crack in the hull one of the slavers. Small scoutbots had found the ship crawling over the rocks with shining red eyes. "We can't stay here," Sam whispered. He checked the controls, main engine broken, weapons offline, only emergency power left. There was no way to fly out. But Sam wasn't ready to give up. He reached under the seat and pulled out a small, battered escape pod. "This pod is old, but it might get us through the tunnels under the canyon. If we're lucky, we'll reach the old mining station on the other side. There's a chance someone there can help us." Lyra nodded, even though fear filled her. She didn't want to be trapped here forever, or worse, be taken by the slavers. Outside, the scoutbot started to cut into the ship's metal door. Sparks flew as its claws ripped through the hull. "Hurry," Sam said. He grabbed some emergency supplies, water, a flashlight, and the first aid kit, then opened the hatch to the escape pod. Lyra climbed in first, and Sam squeezed in behind her. The pod was so small that their knees touched. Sam hit the launch button with a hiss and a jolt. The escape pod dropped down a hidden shaft beneath the ship, sliding deep into the canyon's old mining tunnels. Above them, the slaver's bot burst into the empty ship, only to find it abandoned. Inside the pod, darkness pressed in from all sides. The only light came from the pod's weak navigation screen, showing twisting tunnels ahead. "Where do these tunnels go?" Lyra whispered. Sam smiled a little, trying to be brave for her. "They were built by miners years ago, before the war. Some say there are creatures down here, but I've never seen one yet." As they moved deeper, strange sounds echoed, drips of water, the scrape of something far away, the soft rumble of ancient machinery. Lyra's heart pounded. She felt eyes watching from the shadows. Suddenly, the pod shook violently. On the screen, a red warning flashed: obstacle ahead. "Oh," Sam twisted the controls, trying to steer. But the pod smashed through a rotten support beam and began to spin out of control. The world blurred. Lyra grabbed Sam's arm as the pod crashed, scraping along the tunnel wall before coming to a sudden stop. Everything went quiet. For a moment, Lyra thought she had lost Sam. Then, she felt his hand squeeze hers. "We're alive," Sam said, out of breath. "But we'll have to walk from here." He opened the hatch, and cold, damp air filled the pod. They climbed out into the dark tunnel, shining their flashlight down the endless black corridor. As they walked, Lyra noticed strange marks on the wall's old symbols, drawn by miners, or maybe by something else. She ran her fingers over them, wondering what secrets they hid. After a while, a soft, metallic sound echoed behind them. Click, 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 click. Sam turned off the flashlight, pulling Lyra against the wall. In the dark, two glowing red dots appeared. Moving closer, the slaver's scoutbot had followed them underground. Lyra's breath shook. "What do we do?" Sam whispered, "Stay quiet. We'll let it pass, then keep moving." The bot crawled past, searching for movement. Its sensors swept the dark, but Lyra and Sam held still, not even daring to breathe. After a minute that felt like forever, the bot disappeared around a corner. They moved quickly after that, deeper and deeper into the tunnels, never looking back. Strange shadows danced on the walls, and every sound made Lyra jump. Finally, after what felt like hours, they saw a faint light ahead. Sam smiled for the first time since the crash. "That's the mining station. Maybe we're safe now." But as they reached the old metal door, Sam heard something behind a native voice, speaking a language he didn't know. Someone was already inside. Were they friends or more hunters? The darkness was not finished with them yet. The heavy metal door stood before them, cold and rusty. A faint light shone from under the frame. Sam and Lyra pressed their ears to the door. Inside, muffled voices argued in a language Sam didn't recognize. Lyra's heart beat fast. Her people had legends about these tunnels. Not all of them ended. "Well," Sam whispered, "we can't wait here. That bot might come back." He looked at the door's ancient lock, a keypad with faded numbers. He tried to remember the codes miners once used. Lyra, listening to the voices, suddenly touched his arm. "They are not slavers," she said quietly. "I understand some words. They are traders. Maybe. Refugees like us." Sam nodded. Still, he didn't trust easily. He typed a guess on the keypad. 1, 2, 3, 4. A red light flashed. Wrong code. Lyra watched his fingers, then reached out and pressed a different order, her father's favorite number, 8201. The door clicked. It slid open with a long, loud creak. Inside was a large old room filled with broken mining equipment and scattered bags. Two strange aliens, a lizard man and a furry creature with 4 eyes, jumped up, pointing metal sticks at Sam and Lyra. Their leader, a tall, insect-like woman, stepped forward. Her armor was cracked, but her eyes were sharp. "Who are you?" she demanded in trade language. "What do you want?" Sam raised his hands. "We're not your enemies. Our ship crashed. We're running from slavers. Please, we just need shelter." Lyra stepped forward, holding out her empty hands. "We mean no harm," she said softly. "We only want to live." The insect woman looked at her group. The lizard man lowered his stick first. "Let them stay. We all ran from something." The room relaxed, but not completely. Sam and Lyra were given a corner by the old heater. They sat down, warming their cold hands. Lyra looked around, curious. The miners had left much behind: old food packets, maps, tiny robot toys. The furry creature came close. sniffing Lyra's bandaged arm. "You are not from here," it said, "but you smell like fear. You ran far, little one." Lyra nodded. "We all run, don't we?" As hours passed, the group shared food and stories. Sam told them about the slavers and their hunt. The lizard man explained that he had escaped from a prison ship, and the furry one had lost her family on a forgotten moon. But Lyra kept her own secret, the tiny glowing crystal hidden in her pocket. She clutched it tightly. She knew if the wrong person found it, everything could go wrong. The crystal was rare, powerful enough to buy a planet or start a war. Suddenly, the old radio on the wall crackled. Static burst. Then a robotic voice echoed, "Sector 4 scan complete. Survivors detected. All units, close in." Everyone went silent. The insect leader barked orders. "Shut off the lights. No one makes a sound." Sam and Lyra crouched lower as shadows moved past the broken windows. Outside, slaverbots scanned the area, shining red lights inside. For several long minutes, no one breathed. Lyra felt her heart pounding so hard she thought the bots might hear it. Then, the bots moved on. Fooled by the darkness and cold, relief swept over the group. The furry creature laughed softly. "Lucky this place is old and forgotten." But as everyone relaxed, Lyra noticed something odd. The lizard man kept looking at her pocket. His eyes were greedy. He must have seen the crystal's faint glow. That night, as Sam and Lyra tried to rest, the lizard man crept closer. Sam opened one eye and saw him reaching for Lyra's pocket. Quiet as a shadow, Sam grabbed the lizard man's wrist. "Don't even think about it," Sam whispered. The lizard man hissed but backed away, knowing he'd been caught. The next morning, the group argued again. The insect woman wanted to move deeper into the tunnels. The furry one wanted to wait for a rescue. The lizard man whispered lies, hoping to turn everyone against Sam and Lyra. Lyra couldn't take it anymore. She stood up, her voice trembling, but strong. "I have something," she said. "A crystal. It's why the slavers chase us. If we stay here, none of us are safe." The room fell silent. For the first time, Sam saw fear in the other's eyes. The insect leader stepped forward. "You brought danger here, but maybe you brought hope too. The old escape shaft, nobody uses it. It leads straight to the city. If you're brave enough, you can try." Sam and Lyra looked at each other. They had no choice. The only way was forward, through unknown dangers and secret tunnels. Lyra held the crystal tight, and together they moved toward the dark passage, while the slavers, and maybe something even worse, closed in from behind. The secrets of the mining station were out, and now everything would change. Sam and Lyra stepped into the old escape shaft with the crystal hidden safely in Lyra's pocket. The insect woman closed the door behind them, whispering, "Don't trust anyone in the city, and don't lose the crystal." Her words echoed in the narrow tunnel. The shaft sloped downward, winding deep into the planet. Old lights flickered on the walls, casting long, strange shadows. The air smelled of rust and old secrets. Every footstep sounded loud in the silence. After a long, twisting walk, Sam and Lyra reached a heavy metal hatch. Sam pressed his ear to it and heard the distant noise of machines, voices, and life. Carefully, he turned the handle, and the hatch opened with a hiss. They stepped out into a new world. Below the dead wasteland, hidden from the sky, was a giant underground city built by survivors, refugees, and outcasts from every species. The city was alive with color and movement. Market stalls glowed with neon lights. Alien children ran past, laughing. Traders bargained loudly. Strange vehicles floated above narrow streets. The air buzzed with energy and the smell of strange food. Lyra looked around, amazed. She had never seen so many different kinds of people in one place. For the first time since the attack on her world, it felt almost invisible, just another lost soul in the crowd. Sam kept close to her. "Remember, Lyra, not everyone here is a friend. We need to find help, but we must be careful." As they moved through the crowd, Sam noticed two shady figures following them. He led Lyra quickly through the winding alleys, past a group of street performers and a stall selling glowing fruits. The figures kept getting closer. Lyra saw an old woman at a table, reading fortunes with alien cards. The woman looked up and met Lyra's eyes, then gestured quickly for them to come closer. Sam hesitated, but the pursuers were almost upon them. They slipped into the fortune teller's tent. The old woman's eyes were deep and wise. "You carry something dangerous, child," she said, her voice quiet and calm. Lyra nodded. She took out the crystal, showing it for the first time in the city's light. The crystal sparkled with an inner glow. The woman gasped. "That stone is wanted by many. It can power a city or destroy it." Sam whispered, "We just want to be safe. Can you help us?" The fortune teller nodded. "Oh, yes. If you stay in the open, slavers will find you. But there is a secret way. An old friend of mine, a human like you, runs a repair shop in the old district. He is honest. He owes me a favor." Suddenly, voices shouted outside. The two shady figures had found the tent. The old woman pointed to a back exit. "Go, now." Sam and Lyra slipped out and ran through dark alleys, holding hands so they would not lose each other. The city seemed to twist and turn, with every corner looking the same. The shouting grew louder as the pursuers chased them through the maze. Finally, they reached a rusty door with a faded sign, "Repairs all machines fixed." Sam knocked 3 times, then twice, as the fortune teller had instructed. The door opened, and a big man with a metal arm peered out. He saw Lyra's crystal and quickly waved them inside. "You bring trouble," he grumbled, "but I help for her sake." He pointed to a faded photo of the old woman on his wall. Inside, the shop was filled with broken robots, old tools, and blinking screens. The man, who introduced himself as Milo, locked the door behind them. Sam and Lyra finally felt safe. They told Milo their story, and he listened carefully. "The slavers control half the city's tunnels," Milo said. "They use spies everywhere. But I have a friend, a pilot, who can take you both off this planet if you reach the starport. But you must keep the crystal hidden. If the wrong people see it, you'll never escape alive." Lyra held the crystal tightly. "Why does everyone want this?" she asked. Milo shook his head. "Power, money, dreams, or fear. That stone can change everything. Some want to use it for good, others for war. You must choose who you trust." Suddenly, an alarm sounded. Cameras showed the two shady figures outside, joined by a group of slaver bots. They were searching the street, moving closer to the shop. Milo grabbed his tool belt. "Time to go. I'll show you a secret tunnel to the starport. But we must hurry, they know you're here." Sam took Lyra's hand. Together, with Milo leading the way, they ran into the hidden passage below the shop. The city above was now full of danger, but hope glimmered ahead as they disappeared into the darkness. Lyra wondered if the crystal would bring freedom more trouble than she ever imagined. The chase was not over. Their real test had just begun. The secret tunnel below Milo's shop was dark and narrow. Pipes dripped water from above. The smell of oil and rust filled the air. Sam, Lyra, and Milo hurried along the twisting path, their footsteps echoing off the metal walls. Above them, the city was full of noise, but down here, it was silent and cold. Milo led the way with a small flashlight. "Keep close," he whispered. Slavers pay good money for secrets. Trust no one. After a long walk, they reached an iron gate. Milo punched a code into a hidden keypad. The gate opened slowly, leading to a big chamber where old machines rested under sheets of dust. Suddenly, a voice echoed in the chamber. "Going somewhere, Milo?" Sam froze. In the shadows, 3 figures stepped out, blocking the only exit. One of them was the lizard man from the mining station. His eyes glinted with greed. Behind him were 2 slaver bots, weapons ready. Lyra's heart raced. "You followed us." The lizard man laughed. "You thought you could escape. That crystal belongs to me now. Hand it over, and maybe I'll let you live." Milo stepped in front of Sam and Lyra. "I knew you were trouble, Zek. This isn't your fight." But Zek pointed his blaster at Milo. "Move aside, old man." Sam pulled Lyra behind a pile of crates. "Don't show the crystal," he whispered. Lyra nodded, clutching it tight in her hand. Milo tried to talk. "Let the kids go, Zek. I'll give you all the credits I have, just leave them." Zek shook his head. "Credits mean nothing. That stone is worth a fortune." He gave a signal. The slaver bots moved forward, scanning for heat. Milo threw a wrench, hitting one bot in the head. Sparks flew. The bot turned and fired, blasting a hole in the wall. The chamber shook. Sam used the chaos. He jumped out, swinging a metal rod at the second bot, knocking it back. Lyra ducked and ran, searching for a way out. She saw a narrow vent in the corner just big enough for her. "Sam, this way," she cried. Sam dodged another blast and dove toward Lyra. Milo fought with Zek, punching and kicking as they crashed into old machines. The bots tried to shoot, but their sensors were confused by the steam and smoke filling the room. Lyra crawled into the vent, pulling Sam behind her. Milo blocked the entrance, buying them precious seconds. Zek screamed, "Get them! Get that crystal!" Inside the vent, Lyra crawled fast, scraping her knees. Sam followed, breathing hard. Behind them, the slaver bots tried to break through, their metal claws scratching the vent walls. At last, Lyra reached the end of the tunnel. She kicked open the vent cover. Outside was a loading dock, full of old crates and cargo. The starport's landing field was close. They could see ships waiting, engines humming. But suddenly, Milo's voice echoed from behind. "Run! Don't stop, get to the pilot." Lyra and Sam tumbled out and dashed across the dock, dodging workers and machines. Zek and the bots burst out of the vent just seconds later, firing wild shots. Workers screamed and scattered as lasers flew. Lyra spotted the ship the fortune teller had described, a blue freighter with yellow stripes. At the ramp, a tall woman with a robot arm waved them forward. "Hurry up! I'm your pilot," she shouted. Sam and Lyra raced up the ramp. Kyla hit the controls, closing the doors, just as Zek and his bots reached the bottom. Zek fired, but the shots bounced off the ship's shields. Inside, the pilot guided them to seats. "Strap in. We're leaving, hold tight." The ship roared to life, engines glowing. It shot into the sky, breaking through the city's roof. Zek's angry screams faded below. Lyra sat back, shaking. Sam grabbed her hand, both of them breathless. The pilot looked back, her face serious. "What's in that crystal, kid?" I risked. "A lot coming for you." Lyra held out the crystal, its blue light shining brighter than ever. "I don't know everything, but I think it can save a world. Or destroy it." The pilot nodded, understanding the weight of their journey. Sam and Lyra looked out the window as the city shrank behind them. For the first time, stars filled the sky, stars that meant freedom, or maybe more danger. But as the ship left the planet, nobody noticed a tiny tracker blinking on its hull. The hunt was not over. Betrayal had pushed them forward, but now only trust and courage could decide their fate. High above the ruined world, Sam, Lyra, and their pilots sped through the stars, leaving the chaos behind. Lyra pressed her face to the window, staring at the endless galaxy. She should have felt safe, but her heart was heavy. The crystal in her hands glowed, almost pulsing with her thoughts. She knew its power could change everything. The pilot, Captain Naira, checked the controls, then turned to Sam and Lyra. "We can't outrun the slavers forever," she said. "The tracker on our hull means they'll find us soon. You need a plan." Sam nodded, worry clear in his eyes. "Where can we go? Who can we trust?" Naira thought for a moment, then answered, "There's one place. The Free Alliance Station. It's a city in space-neutral ground. No slaver dares attack it, but it's also full of spies, thieves, and desperate people. If you want to disappear, it's the best chance you have. But you must decide, will you keep running or face your enemies?" Lyra looked at the crystal. She felt its warmth and danger. For days, everyone around her had fought over it. She realized she didn't want anyone to suffer because of her. "Maybe I can use the crystal to buy us safety," she said. Voice quiet, Sam frowned. "Or it could bring more trouble. That stone can make kings or killers." As they spoke, a warning flashed on the screen. A slaver ship was approaching fast, faster than anything Sam had seen before. Naira shouted, "Hold on." She twisted the controls, diving the ship through an asteroid field. Rocks tumbled past, scraping the hull. The slaver ship fired lasers, turning asteroids to dust. Sam and Lyra held on tightly as the ship bounced and spun. The crystal glowed even brighter. Lyra felt it calling to her, as if it was alive. Suddenly, a new ship appeared on the radar-rod giant cruiser with the Free Alliance symbol. It sent a message. "Unknown ship, you are entering protected space. Power down and prepare for escort." Naira smiled. "We made it, but just barely." She followed the orders, and soon they landed inside the bright, spinning city of the Free Alliance. Inside, the station was full of Life-aliens, humans, robots, and traders from every world. Security was tight. Guards checked every visitor. Lyra hid the crystal deep in her pocket as they walked through the crowds. At the council office, a wise old leader listened to their story. Sam told him about the slavers, the mining station, the betrayal, and the power of the crystal. The leader studied Lyra. "Many have died for that crystal. Its power is too great for any one person. What will you do, Lyra?" Lyra looked around at Sam, Naira, and all the faces in the council room. She thought about the friends they lost and the people they met who only wanted a peaceful life. She took a deep breath. "If I keep the crystal, the hunt will never end. If I give it away, someone might use it for war. But if I trust the Free Alliance, maybe they can protect it for everyone, not just the powerful." Sam smiled, proud of her bravery. Naira nodded in agreement. With shaking hands, Lyra placed the crystal on the council's table. The leader locked it away in a special vault, guarded by the best security in the galaxy. The slaver ship was denied entry. For the first time, Lyra felt free. Days passed. Lyra and Sam made new friends on the station. Ilo sent a message. He was safe, and the mining refugees had found a home. The city beneath the wasteland was growing, becoming a place of hope. One night, under the station's artificial stars, Sam found Lyra watching the galaxy. "You did something brave, Lyra," he said. She nodded. "I don't want to run anymore. I want to help others find peace, too." Sam squeezed her shoulder. "You're not alone. We'll face whatever comes next together." The stars outside seemed to shine brighter, as if the whole universe was full of new beginnings. And so, the lost alien girl and the human who saved her found a place to belong, proving that trust and kindness could light even the darkest parts. Of space. The story of the crystal was over, but their journey together had just begun.